Welcome to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby Bradford here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, to bring you all of this action from week number 5. We're more than halfway through our 7-week regular season, leading up to a double elimination postseason tournament. If you're new to the program, let's explain how the rules of Battle Axe go down. We'll show you the board right there. As you can see, there are 5 rings leading into the bullseye. Each ring is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The bullseye, that red dot, is worth 6. And then those small blue dots on the outermost ring, those are for what's called a kill shot. If a player elects to go for a kill shot and hits the blue dot, they get 8 points. If they miss it, they get nothing. Here's what everyone's playing for, Bobby: the glorious belt.
That is what everyone is competing for and looking to take home. The beautiful World Axe Throwing League Championship belt will be bestowed to the champion of the Week 8 tournament. And, Joey, I just can't wait for it.
It is absolutely breathtaking. All of these incredible players want so badly to get that thing around their waist.
They do, and it's the first year that it will be given to a champion, so it's definitely a little more added excitement there, too.
Let's take a look now at all of the players competing for that belt. Leading the way, it's the former champion, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, a perfect 16-0 on the season, averaging 54 points per game. Behind Bradshaw, it's Casey Nines, Cody Yoakum, Brandon Feenstra, Eric Schizzle, Hannah Brussel, Stephanie Prine, Gina Feenstra, Everett Schur, and Haley Straight. Rounding out the top 10, Casey Nines is in second place, looking to win a championship for the first time ever. Here's Nines on his goals for average scores.
Well, last league, my goal was to have a 50-point average. And I think I'm about there right now. I know some nights I have some better, higher nights. And so, I mean, really is this time around, it's probably about 51 average is what I'm shooting for. Going into, we're about halfway through almost. And, I mean, a lot of these people they're really stepping up their game. We're having a lot more close games, so it's been a lot more exciting this season.
Casey Nines, always an exciting player to watch. He's been so close to that championship. We'll see if perhaps he can bring it home this year, Bobby.
Absolutely. He's been ever so close and chasing the championship belt now this season.
Casey Laser Wolf Nines against Eric Schizzle, a former championship matchup, Bobby.
Yep, this is a great matchup, a classic matchup here on Battle Axe. Eric coming in at 10-6, Casey at 14-2, so two of the top competitors in this league. And as we've said before, Joey, Eric throwing with his left hand, starting to dial it in though.
Eric Schizzle coming in with a record of 10-6. Casey Nines 14-2 on the season. He's out to the early advantage 5-4 over Schizzle.
Casey with a nice throw there. It looks like that could be popping through for a bullseye. Ooh, and that's definitely a bullseye there for Eric. So rule to 5 for Casey. He's going to get a closer look at that, though.
Yeah, didn't miss it by much. Looks like he wants Jenny to come in and get another look to see if perhaps the bottom of that blade is into both sides of the red.
And as you can see there from the action cam, it does look like that blade is popping through in the bottom part of that blade. So for any new watchers here, the program, that blade has to be the wood has to be visible on both sides of that blade for it to count.
So that preserves the 1-point advantage for Laser Wolf over Eric the Scope Schizzle.
Yeah, a couple of 4s there, so just off the mark. Not missing by much, though. Very close to 5s there for both competitors. So a 1-point advantage here for Casey Nines going into the 4th throw.
Always fun to watch these two heavyweights go head-to-head, of course. Back in Season 2, it was Eric Schizzle winning the championship match over Laser Wolf Nines.
Yeah, and so Casey with a nice 5 there. Again, these competitors, very few mistakes in their game. Looks like a 4 there for Eric. So Casey can increase his lead to 2 points.
You get so close. All right, 5th throw, Casey's up by 2.
But again, so with this matchup, though, being so close, Joey, mistakes can really determine the outcome of this game. So every competitor really has to be locked in. That's a great throw there by Casey. Shaking his head, though, a little bit. Maybe he's disappointed it wasn't a bullseye.
Yeah, we're still a few weeks away from the postseason, but this matchup certainly has that postseason feel.
Yeah, you can see Eric in a closer look, making sure it's a 5. Very close to being a 4 there, but he gets the points to keep pace with Casey, going down by 2 going into the turn.
So they switch sides. Nice throw there from Laser Wolf. And nice throw from Schizzle as well. A couple bullseyes to get the second half started.
Yeah, really getting it dialed in there Unfortunately for the scope, though, he's not able to make up any points on Casey Laser Wolf 9s. And as always, you can see Danny DeVito in the corner there, Joey. Just supporting both throwers.
Someone is missing here, though, from the corner of Eric Schizzle. Not sure where Taylor Swift is today.
We don't know where T Swift is today, but it doesn't seem to be affecting Eric in his throws. He's putting up a nice score here of 34. Casey with 36 going into the 8th throw. Still a nail biter.
3 throws to go and a 2-point lead for Casey Nines.
A nice throw there by Casey. Looks like that's a 5. Looks like the wood's popping through on the left-hand side of that blade. Oh.
Ooh.
5 Casey drop Eric.
Wow.
That is heartbreaking for Eric Schizzle. He was right in this one, and just like that, Casey Nines has a 7-point lead now.
Just a devastating drop, something we've rarely, if ever, seen from Eric before. So Casey in control of this matchup. Eric with his back up against the wall. Got to forget about that drop. Just focus on putting positive points on the board.
Bullseye Casey, 5 Eric.
Nice bullseye there for Casey.
All right, last throw. Casey's up by 8 points.
Wow. Nope. Up by 8 points, though. Tournament's right around the corner here, Joey. I'm wondering if he's going to be going for that kill shot.
It looks like he indicated that he will be going for the kill shot, down 8 points.
There it is. There's the official
He's
indication.
going to do it. If somehow he gets a drop here from Casey, nope.
Well, I think
But-
at this point it's just for practice, too, for Eric. He knows the tournament's around the corner. We've seen,
Four
very,
Casey,
very
0
close there.
Eric.
But we've seen other
All right.
competitors be very aggressive going for the kill
39
shot, so
Eric, 51 Casey.
we don't call him the scope for nothing.
Big
It's
game.
Casey Nines getting the win, 51-39 over Eric Schizzle.
Yeah, so what can you say? Casey Nines with a really impressive score, 51 there. Only a couple 4s in his match here. So really staying around that consistent average that he wanted for this league and improves his record to 15-2. Of course, with Eric, that devastating drop on the 8th throw really put himself behind the 8 ball. Kind of forced him to go for the kill shot there on the 10th throw, but really a nice aggressive move and some good practice for the tournament coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. You make a score in the 50s, you're going to make a deep postseason run in this league. As for Eric Schizzle, I like the decision there to go for the kill shot at the very end. Good practice, a shot you definitely want to have in your arsenal for the postseason. Let's throw it down now to Stephanie Prine for her thoughts on consistency in league play.
I mean, it's all points up until the tournament, so it sort of depends. It doesn't matter if your average is going to be lower because you're throwing a 51 one game and your other 3 games are in the 30s. So I would rather throw a consistent, 40 whatever until tournament night and then have some big wins there.
Stephanie Prine looking to get better and better each and every week as we're just a few weeks away from the postseason.
Absolutely, Joey. Excited for this matchup. Brandon Fincher is going to be taking on Stephanie Prine in what should be a great one.
Stephanie Prine coming in with a record of 7-9. Brandon Feenstra 9-7.
Yeah, so Stephanie talking in her interview about consistency in league scoring. It's really, Joey, to set up, that tournament time. Because the tournament, it's a double elimination tournament. So it's, lose 2 and go home. So you really want to have a good sense of how you can score and where you kind of stand with the rest of your competitors. So nice start there by both competitors, a 5 and a 6.
Brandon Feenstra with a bullseye on his first throw. There's a nice throw from Stephanie Prine. She lands a bullseye to tie it up at 11.
Yeah, great throw there by Stephanie. Brandon not too far off from a bullseye himself, so we are all tied up 11-11 going into the 3rd throw here. And Stephanie, of course, making the change in her axe halfway through the season. A nice throw there by Stephanie.
And throwing that axe well. Back-to-back bullseyes for Stephanie Prine. A 3 from Brandon Feenstra, so it's a 3-point lead now for Prine.
Yeah, that axe there kind of getting away from Brandon a little bit. Very close to a 4, but did hit that 3 ring, so he's got to focus up and find that 4, 5, and 6 ring that he's so used to.
Well, no unicorn there for Stephanie Prine. She throws a 4 after back-to-back bullseyes. Feenstra throws a 4 as well to keep it a 3-point game.
Yeah, but you can see with that new axe, Joey, it looks like it's really comfortable for Stephanie. It's something it looks like it's hitting the board a little more flush. Just a little more consistent throw from her, which is a great thing to remedy.
4 Brandon, 5 7.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing both of these players in the postseason. They're playing well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see their records are really similar. They're putting up very similar scores as well. And so Stephanie up by 4 going into the turn.
They switch sides, and we're underway in the second half. Nice throw there from Stephanie Prine. It's another bullseye, her third bullseye of the match. She's got a 6-point lead now.
Yeah, doing a great job. Brandon's got some serious work to do here. But again, it's just focusing on that board. You really can't worry about what your competitor's throwing because you really don't have any, impact on it, Joey, unless you decide to talk some trash and get in their head.
5 Brandon, 4 Stephanie.
It is a mental game, and we've seen that before.
We've seen it happen a little bit, but that's not these competitors' game here. So Stephanie with a 5-point lead. Brandon able to make up a point there on that last throw.
If he can just chip away here on the last few throws, he can get in position to win it, but
And you can see
that one really got away from him.
Yeah, you can see he was disappointed. He knew that was kind of his shot to get back in this game. Axe getting away from him, so a couple devastating threes here for Brandon in this matchup. But got to stay aggressive, have to have a positive mindset, and put some serious points on the board. Nice throw there by Stephanie. Really nice.
Yeah, that's awfully close to a bullseye. Just misses. It's a 5 and a 4 for Feenstra. So Stephanie Prine bringing a 7-point lead into the final throw.
Yeah, Stephanie really close to a bullseye there. I would have liked to get a little closer look at that, Joey, but probably not popping through on the left-hand side of that blade.
Chance for Prine to get around a 50 or more here.
5 Brandon, 4 Stephanie.
Just off the mark is Stephanie there.
All right, good game. 43 Brandon, 49
So Stephanie Prine with an impressive round here. 49-43. Prine gets the win over Feenstra.
Yeah, so Stephanie with one of the more impressive rounds we've seen her throw here on Battle Axe, improving her record to 8-9 with a nice score of 49. No threes in the matchups, no drops, just really a clean game for her. And for Brandon, it's just those threes on the third and the eighth throw that really kind of put him in a bad position here and kind of playing from behind. So, but both competitors put up a nice score in the 40s and should be exciting come tournament time.
Yeah, Feenstra is really going to have to focus in on cutting down those threes because
Correct.
you just can't have that in the postseason. Stephanie Prine, really impressive round here, something to really build on as we get closer and closer to the postseason. We've got a lot more Battle Axe still to come here on MC22. We'll bring it to you straight ahead. Welcome back to Battle Axe here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. As always, I'm Joey the Jaw Danya alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. It's been an exciting start to week number 5 thus far. Earlier today, we saw Casey Nines defeat Eric Shizzle. A devastating drop for Shizzle. Here's Nancy Kramer on just how devastating drops can be.
Yeah, because you can be like doing really, really well. I mean, you can be hitting the 4s and 5s and sometimes a bullseye for me, and then you're to the end of the game and you're like tied like within a point and you drop and it's like, that's like crushing because it just blows your whole game.
She's absolutely right, Bobby.
Absolutely. It's one of those things you have to eliminate from your game at any point. And as we saw in an early matchup, Joey, it can happen to anybody.
Nancy Kramer looking confident. She's going to take on Gina Feenstra.
So Nancy coming in at 1-15. Gina coming in at 7-9, but both players have shown the ability to put up some good scores here. So it should be a good matchup here, Joey.
Couple of 4s to start this one from Kramer and Feenstra.
So Nancy really looking to eliminate those drops from her game. Really kind of trying to focus in on that 4, 5, and 6 ring as we've talked about the progression of every player. Nice throw there by Nancy.
She's wearing Shizzle's uniform, so maybe she's trying to channel her inner scope.
Yeah, it's probably what's going on there, Joey. And Gina, Axe getting away from her a little bit there. A rare 2. And Gina looks like Nancy looks like she threw a 3. And again, the Axe getting away from Gina. You can see her stretching out that shoulder. I know she's had some shoulder issues going through this season, so she's trying to stretch it out, trying to remedy that 2-stroke.
Nancy Kramer with a 3-point lead after 3 throws. Looks like a 4 there from Kramer, and there's a great throw from Feenstra. She was struggling early on, and she responds with a bullseye on her 4th throw.
Yeah, just took a little stretching to get the old shoulder loose there. Gina with a nice 6 there. Nancy, though, just has to focus up. Nice throw there. Looks like a 5.
3 Gina, 5 Nancy.
Ever so close to a 4 there for Gina, but it is a 3, not popping through on the wood for that 4 ring. So Nancy with the 3-point lead going into the turn here, Joey.
Nice first half for Nancy Kramer. She's up 20-17. They switch sides, and we're underway here in the second half. That one gets away from Kramer a little bit, but it just crosses over into that 4 ring.
4
Yep,
Gina.
so she doesn't lose any ground, and Joey, we might have an upset brewing.
Yeah, Nancy Kramer coming in at 1-15. Gina Feenstra 7-9. Kramer would love to get her second win of the season right here.
Oh, and the axe just getting away from Nancy there. So it looks like a
Nancy,
2.
Gina.
But fortunately for Nancy, Gina's only able to throw a 3 there, so only gains 1 point on Nancy, which could have been a devastating turn of events here.
Yeah, consistency has been an issue for both of these competitors here in this one.
Yep, and it looks like that could be another 2 there for Nancy.
2 Nancy, 3 Gina.
And so you can see Gina's frustrated. She knows that that 2 was a huge mistake there by Nancy, and she's only able to gain a point. But we do have a 1-point game, Joey, going into the 9th throw. So
Fasten your seatbelts. It doesn't get better than this.
Ooh.
What a throw there from Nancy Kramer. Ice in her veins. A bullseye on the 9th throw to make it a 3-point lead heading into the final throw.
what a fantastic throw there by Nancy. I mean, to come back after those 2 2s and throw just a flush bullseye, just a great throw.
Oh, my goodness.
3 Gina. And that
What
ties
a
it up.
Wow.
heartbreaking throw there from Nancy Kramer. She's not done yet, though.
She's not
We're
done.
going to go to sudden death, Bobby.
Wow. So a devastating drop on the 10th throw. We heard her in an interview talking about how it can just be a game killer. After a great bullseye, Nancy has a huge drop, but she's still in this game. Has to really focus up. And off the mark there for that bullseye, or for that kill shot, excuse me. And it looks like, yeah, Gina's a little closer, so we will get an official ruling, Joey, but I think Gina's got this one.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Gina Feenstra is just a little bit closer.
But it is from where that blade hits the wood and goes to the kill shot. So that's why we're bringing out the tape measure here, because it can be deceiving. Even though, you know, Nancy seems like she's farther away, it's a lot closer when you get up and close and personal like that, Joey.
Battle axe, a game of centimeters.
Yep, so Jenny's got the first ruling there.
Oh, yours is so much easier to measure, Gina.
Yep, and so it looks like she's
All
getting
right,
it there.
Gina.
Official ruling.
Gina Feenstra
I thought it
comes
was
back
closer,
to win
but,
this
I'm
one
not
in sudden
estimating,
death.
so. You were tied at 34.
Well, just a great job by both competitors here to just overcome their mistakes. As you can see, Gina with a couple 2s on the 2nd and 3rd throw, responding with a nice bullseye, and then Nancy with a couple 2s on her 7th and 8th throw to respond with a nice bullseye on her 9th throw. But unfortunately for her, that devastating drop on the 10th throw, as she alluded to in her interview, just allowed that door to be open there for Gina to come through and throw a 3 to send this thing into sudden death, and just ice in her veins, came out the victor.
Yeah, perfect example here of just how devastating a drop can be. That one drop ultimately what cost Nancy Kramer the match here in week number 5. Time now for our next matchup here in week number 5. Everett Shure will take on Brandon Feenstra. This should be a fun one to watch, Bobby.
Yep, Everett coming in at 6 and 10, Brandon coming in at 9 and 8. But Everett being anointed the nickname by Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw of Mr. Kill, Joey.
That is a perfect name. It rolls right off the tongue. Everett Shure, Mr. Kill, the guy that's been going for kill shots each and every week throughout this season.
Yes, we've seen Everett consistently go for the kill shot during the regular season, getting very comfortable with the nerves of throwing a kill shot. A nice throw there, very close to a bullseye there for Everett. It looks like a 5 for Brandon.
We'll see. Jenny's going to get a close look.
Ooh.
Just missed the bullseye. It's a 5. Yeah, Everett Shure is going to be a dangerous player in the postseason just because he's got so much experience throwing that kill shot, and you land a kill shot in the postseason, that can completely change the course of a game.
Yeah, and well, we've seen it with Eric the Scope Shizzle as well. You know, getting comfortable with that kill shot can be a great thing to have in your back pocket come tournament time. And Everett, you know, practicing during the regular season, he's not afraid to go for it at any point in time in this matchup.
13 all between Shure and Feenstra after 3 throws.
So it looks like a 4 there for Everett.
4 and 4.
And that's a 4 there for Brandon. Very close to a 5 there for Brandon. But we are all
right,
tied
fifth
up going
throw,
into the
and you're
5th
tied
throw.
at 17.
But yeah, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw anointing Everett Mr. Kill Sure. And when he said it, yeah, it just made a lot of sense because, man, that's what he does. And that's a great bullseye there.
Bullseye Everett for Brandon.
A bullseye for sure to finally build some separation. He'll bring a 2-point lead into the second half of this one. And what an honor it must be for a newcomer to this league, Everett Shore, to be anointed a nickname, Mr. Kill, from one of the league's all-time greats.
Exactly.
4 and
And
4.
Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw just hit the nail on the head there. So a couple 4s there by both competitors. 27-25 going into the 7th throw. A nice consistent game. Very few mistakes by each competitor. Nice throw there by Everett.
4 Brandon. 5 Everett.
No need for Everett Shore to throw the kill shot in this one thus far. Mr. Kill is in the driver's seat. He's got a 3-point lead with 3 throws to go.
Yeah, again, something that every competitor has to get used to is playing with the lead, putting the points on the board, and
Drop Everett.
just cannot have that devastating drop there. Looks like it was going to be a 5 or a 6, but
5 Brandon.
not sticking into the wood, and Brandon with a nice 5 there to take a 2-point lead. And Joey, that's just how quickly things can change here on Battle Axe.
I feel like I gave him the old announcer's jinx, talking about him being in the driver's seat, and just like that, Brandon Feenstra has a 2-point lead now with just a couple throws to go.
Yep.
4 and 4.
So Brandon just happy to trade points
All
here.
right, last throw. Brandon is up by
And
2.
we'll see if Mr. Kill lives up to his name. It looks like we just got the call there, Joey.
Ooh, it doesn't get more exciting than when he points that finger and says he's going for the kill shot. Mr. Kill going for the kill shot and the win.
Ooh.
4 Brandon. 0 Everett.
It's off the mark.
Off the mark, a little high there.
All right, good game. 36 Everett.
Brandon
42
Feenstra
Brandon.
takes down Mr. Kill, 42-36.
Yeah, just a great matchup here by both competitors. Brandon doing a really good job of playing consistently, throwing up consistent 4s and 5s there to improve his record to 10-8. But Everett, with that devastating drop on the 8th throw, forced to go for the kill shot there on the 10th throw, but wasn't worried about what Brandon was going to throw. He was assuming Brandon was going to throw a bullseye and hopefully send this thing into sudden death overtime. So a good job of Everett playing the board, not worrying about what his competitor's throwing, and just being aggressive.
Second match in a row where a drop proves incredibly costly. Here's Everett Shore with his thoughts on coming up a little short to Brandon Feenstra.
This game, it was a little rough on me because I've been trying to dial back how much I'm doing in my throw, just trying to go back to the basics a little bit, and I've been doing a little bit better tonight, and that one drop kind of derailed me a little bit, but it's just something where you just got to try to push it out in your mind, move on to that next throw, and keep going.
Well, you've always got to have a short memory here on Battle Axe, Bobby.
You do have to have a short memory. You just got to keep moving on, Joey.
Lots more action still to come here in week number 5. We'll bring it to you all straight ahead here on Battle Axe. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. Before we bring you our next matchup here in week number 5, let's throw it down to the man everyone is chasing, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, a perfect 16-0, looking to win his second championship. Here's Bradshaw on preparing for the tournament.
Especially with this season, with league and the way the circuit points change for qualifications for the World Championships, you're just trying to bank as many points as possible through the season. So as far as win-loss record, you're really not worried about the guy next to you in the next lane. You just want to accumulate as many points as possible. The flip side of that, when tournament time comes, now you really have to worry about your partner because you only need to beat them by 1. So now you're really thinking about each throw as it relates to what your partner's doing. So, I mean, it's a different mindset. Fun as hell, though, but it's a different mindset.
Well said by the Magic Man. He has been pouring on the points this season, averaging 54 points per game. Cody Yoakum is going to look to take down the Magic Man, Matt Bradshaw. This should be a great one.
Yep, Matt coming in a perfect 16-0, chasing perfection in this Winter League. Cody Yoakum coming in at an impressive 11-5, and definitely a competitor that can push Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
Great pants as always from the Magic Man.
Of course, a man of style, a man of grace.
Nice start for the Magic Man. Looks like a 5, and it is a 5. So Bradshaw with the early 1-point lead over Cody Yoakum.
Cody not missing that 5 ring by very much, so a positive throw there by him. He's just got to stay loose and focus on that board and just put up as many points as he possibly can.
Just like Bradshaw was saying, it's not about your competitor. It's just about getting as many points as you can.
Yes.
And Bradshaw has gotten a lot of points. He is the points leader, and he's a perfect 16-0. You pour on the points, you're going to get the wins.
Yeah, it's not a hard formula to figure out here, Joey. If you score more points than everyone else, you're probably going to have a pretty good record. So Matt with a couple of 5s here to start off the matchup. Cody with a couple 4s. He knows he can't beat the Magic Man by throwing 4s, so he's got to start getting locked into that 5 and 6 ring. Matt looks like another 5 there, and very close to a bullseye here for Cody. Jenny's going to get a closer look.
5, Cody.
So it's ruled a 5 there for Cody.
So 3 straight 5s for the Magic Man. He hasn't been missing that bullseye by much. He's got a 2-point lead over Cody Yoakum after the first 3 throws.
And Cody's just got to be devastated with that 5 there. It was so close to being a 6. Looked like it was popping through a little bit, Joey, on the right-hand side. But ruled a 5 and not contested, and it looks like Matt has a flush bullseye there.
5, Cody. Bullseye, Matt.
So it is a bullseye for Matt the Magic Man. His first bullseye of the match. He extends his lead to 3.
Matt is up by 3 points.
Yeah, so, it's easy for Matt to say, you can't worry about your competitor, but for every competitor facing Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, they know that like a 3-point lead is almost insurmountable, which has got to be, it has to be in the back of your brain. And a nice bullseye there. And there's a bullseye by Cody. But that's why everyone loves the Magic Man. He's so supportive of everybody else in this league.
Yeah, incredible sportsmanship here in Battle Axe. It's really an axe-throwing family. And the Magic Man loves all of his competitors.
Yep, but so again for Cody, he's just looking to put up positive points on the board. He knows that mistakes are rare with Matt, but he's still in this game. And he's just got to put up consistent bullseyes, 5s.
4, Cody.
Just no 4s.
Bullseye, Matt.
Mistakes have been a key here in week number 5. We've seen 3 devastating drops thus far in matchups.
Yep, and drops are something that's not a part of Cody's game, really. I mean, we've seen a couple of them throughout. Every competitor's had a drop, but not something that's really kind of plagued his season so far. He's just kind of trying to focus in on that 5 and 6 ring. He's trying to take that next step, Joey, to eliminating 4s from the games, and that's just a great bullseye there by Cody.
4, Matt.
So there you go.
Well, the Magic Man finally cools off after a unicorn. He throws a 4, and Yoakum lands a bullseye to get within 3.
So it's a great example, Joey, of just the inverse of what Matt generally does to competitors. So Matt's putting up consistent 5, 6 all the time, right? So when a competitor throws a 4, he's able to take a 2-point advantage on that throw. So Cody doing a nice job of throwing a bullseye there, capitalizing on Matt's mistake, and
Bullseye and bullseye.
nice another bullseye there by Cody Yoakum, setting himself up for a unicorn on the 9th throw.
So it remains a 3-point lead for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. 2 throws to go.
So Matt with a unicorn already in this game. Cody looking to keep pace, have a unicorn himself. Nice throw there by Matt. It's a 5 there for Cody.
5,
Could be a bullseye, and it is a bullseye ruled for Matt on the bottom part of that blade.
So
All right,
Bradshaw
last throw. Matt's
extends
up by
the
2.
lead to 4. He's got a chance to finish this one up with his 2nd unicorn of the game.
Could we see a double unicorn? And actually, here we go. Looks like Cody Yoakum just called for the kill shot there.
Very aggressive, but with the postseason right around the corner, why not? It looks like the Magic Man threw another bullseye, and wow,
Bullseye, Matt.
So
Cody
close.
Yoakum almost landed the kill shot.
Good game.
Well, we knew this was going to be a fun
46,
one to
Cody,
watch, and
54,
indeed it was. Matt the Magic Man gets the win, 55-45.
Yeah, just a great matchup here by both competitors. A really nice aggressive move there by Cody, banking on Matt to throw a 5. If Cody hits that kill shot, they send this thing into sudden death overtime. So just with the feeling that tournament coming around the corner, Cody did a great job of being aggressive and going for it. And what can you say about Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw? Nothing but 5s, 6s, 1 4, but a double unicorn for an impressive score of 55. Just tremendous effort.
This was a treat to watch this one. Earlier here today on Battle Axe, we saw Gina Feenstra get a win in sudden death. Let's throw it down to Feenstra to get her thoughts on adjusting her throw.
I try not to. Sometimes I do, and I usually end up going back to what I've done previously, because it seems like if I mess with it too much, that it just things get off. I know I've switched which foot I start forward with, or if I step or not in the past, and it seems like what I'm doing now seems to work the best, generally.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Bobby.
Absolutely. Gina's playing really well and looking to carry it over in this matchup versus Hannah Brussel.
Hannah Happy Feet Brussel ready to take on Gina Feenstra.
Yeah, so Gina's had a really good last couple of weeks here, really putting up some impressive scores, coming in at 8 and 9, Hannah at 8 and 8. It's going to be a good matchup here, Joey.
Yeah, Brussel has been playing very well also this season,
Correct.
and she just missed a bullseye right there.
So Hannah starts this thing off with a 5, Gina with a 4, not missing by much. Both competitors have really worked hard to eliminate drops from their game, as we saw in Gina's first matchup. Had a couple 2s there, but responded nicely. Just has to focus up on that 4, 5, and 6 ring.
3 Gina, 3 Hannah.
Couple of 3s from Brussel and Feenstra. Brussel has an 8-7 advantage after the first 2 throws.
Yeah, so that axe getting away from both competitors a little bit, but Hannah able to keep her 1-point lead going into the third throw. So again, capitalizing on mistakes. That's something that every player has to do, and you don't want to live in the world, Joey, of relying on your opponent to make a mistake, but you have to be able to capitalize when they do.
So it's still a 1-point game. Brussel with the lead. Feenstra focusing in here for her 4th throw, and she throws a 4.
Throwing a 4. There's a
Gina,
nice
5
5
Hannah.
there by Hannah. Yeah, you can see, though, Gina's still stretching out that shoulder. I'm
All right,
wondering if
5th
that's just
throw,
affecting
Hannah's
her
up by
throw a little
2.
bit, a little more erratic than she would like to be, but still within this game, she's just down by 2 going into the 5th throw here. And Hannah just working on that consistent shrinking of the board into that 4, 5, and 6 ring.
4 Hannah.
Looks like that could be a 5 there for Gina on the left-hand
5 Gina.
side, and it is ruled a 5, Joey. So able to make up a point is Gina Feenstra.
So she stretched out that shoulder a bit and threw her best axe of the match. She's within 1 heading into the second half of this one.
And as for all the players, it's all about routine. Nice throw there by Gina. It looks like that could be a bullseye.
Hannah,
Oh, yeah,
bullseye,
flush
Gina.
bullseye there for Gina. Turn the tides here and take a 1-point lead, but it's all about that positive routine. So once you find that 5, 6 throw, Joey, you got to be able to remember that muscle memory and be able to repeat that. And it looks like she's getting locked in.
4 Gina,
Nice
5
throw
Hannah.
there. Looks like a 5 on the bottom part of that blade.
Well, nice response from Brussel after giving up the lead. She comes right back to tie it up at 30-all, 3 throws to go.
So we get a little bit of back and forth here, Joey, on this matchup. Each player trading the lead here. It looks like a bullseye there for Gina Feenstra, and this is an important ruling here, Joey.
Bullseye Gina.
We'll see.
5 Hannah.
Wow. So Jenny gets another look at it. It is ruled a 5. So very close to being a 4.
Second bullseye of the day for Gina Feenstra. She's got a 1-point lead with 2 throws to go.
So each player trading the lead here. We'll see how they throw here on their 9th throw. It looks like a 4 there.
4 and 4.
Another 4. So how about another nail biter, Joey?
All
It's
right,
been an
last
exciting
throw.
week number 5.
Gina's up by 1.
And we've got another one going right down to the final throw. Gina Feenstra leading by 1 point here against Hannah Brussel.
So each player doing a really good job of throwing a consistent game here. Very little mistakes. Just a dagger bullseye there by Gina Feenstra. Oh,
Bullseye Gina.
That might be a bullseye
That's a
for
really close.
Brussel as well.
we'll have to see. It's very close. It has to pop through on both sides of that blade. It could be just the littlest part of that axe, Joey.
Bullseye Hannah.
So it is a bullseye for Hannah Brussel, but it's a win for Gina Feenstra, 46 to
All right,
45.
final score.
Yeah, once
45
Gina threw
Hannah,
that
46
that bullseye, really all Hannah could do was put up a positive 6 to keep this a 1-point game. But just ice in her veins, Gina Feenstra. Nice job to throw 3 6s there on her final 5 throws. Really nice score of 46 to improve her record to 9 and 9. And for Hannah, just the the mistake of the 3 there on the second throw, but a nice score of 45. Didn't miss by much. Not really much to take away from this game, Joey, other than 2 great competitors.
Yeah, impressive scores out of Brussel and Feenstra. A real nice bounce-back game from Gina Feenstra. Earlier today, she got a 34 in her sudden death victory over Kramer, and then she comes out here and puts up a 46 to get another win over Hannah Brussel. We've got a lot more action still to come here in week number 5. We'll bring it to you straight ahead here on Battle Axe. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. We're at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford, bringing you all of the action from week number 5. It's been an exciting week of action thus far. We just saw Hannah Brussel come up just 1 point short to Gina Feenstra. Now Brussel's going to come right back out there to take on Beth Jen. Hannah, happy feet, Brussel.
Yep, so Hannah looking to avenge her loss to Gina Feenstra, and she's going to take on Beth Jen, who comes in at 1-15, but has been putting up some really impressive scores as of late. Not the way to start off the match, though, there by Beth. Looks like throwing a 2 there.
Yeah, that one really got away from Beth. Looks like she just let go of that axe a little too late.
Yeah, it looks like it just held on to it a little bit too long. But those are the adjustments that every player's making, especially the new players, Joey. They're trying to figure out where that release point is and then the consistency of that release point. And there you can see a much better throw there. Looks like a 4.
4, Beth.
And that looks close to being a 4 there for Hannah.
So Brussel just missing a 5. We've seen her really step up her game this year.
Tremendously.
She's thrown a lot more 5s and really peppering bullseyes along the way to improve her average score.
Yeah, as we've said before in episodes past, Joey, it's really about that progression of shrinking that bullseye, shrinking that total board. So you want to, when you first start throwing, you're happy to have it stick in the board. You're happy to have it land, and then you're going to try to hone in from that 2-3 ring into that 4, 5, and 6. So she's making the nice progression after that bullseye there with a 4-point lead going into the 4th throw, making that progression, though, into that 5 and 6 ring.
Well, there's a nice throw from Beth Jen.
5, Beth, 4, Hannah.
She just misses a bullseye.
All right, 5th throw.
So Hannah
Hannah's
Brussel
up by
has a
3.
3-point lead after 4 throws.
So Beth doing a nice job of gaining a point there on Hannah. Going into the 5th throw, she's only down by 3, so she's just trying to focus up. Looks like a 4 there, although there could be a sliver of wood, Joey, popping through on the right-hand side of that blade. We'll have to go take a closer look.
5, Hannah.
Yeah, you've just got to have a little bit of that wood on both sides of the blade. Jenny's going to shine a little light onto the situation, and it is a 5.
There you go.
And Beth Jen is pumped up.
Absolutely. Well, it's a huge momentum shift there, Joey. I mean, that could be her down by 4 going into the 6th throw. Still down by 3, though. Manageable to come back and make this thing a game, and wow, there's a gift. Wow.
Well, a devastating drop for Hannah Brussel to start the second half of this one. All of a sudden, Beth Jen has the lead.
Well, and that's what makes Battle Axe so exciting, Joey, is that, one throw can just determine or change the whole momentum of a game. So all of a sudden, Beth, just happy to keep this thing a 3-point game, is now in the driver's seat. Now has to shift her approach to this game. She's got to look to put up consistent, positive scores, no mistakes, and she could hold on to this lead.
And these are the types of moments that just have fans on the edges of their seats with each and every match.
Fantastic throw there by both competitors. It looks like
Bullseye, Hannah.
a couple of bullseyes.
5, Beth.
Oh.
Wow. Beth Jen didn't miss the bullseye by much. Hannah Brussel gets the bullseye to tie it up at 33.
Wow, that was very, very close. It looked like the top of that axe might have been kissing that bullseye a little bit, but ruled a 5. So we are all tied up going into this throw, and it looks like a couple of 5s there. So, man, theme of the night, Joey,
Right,
nail biters.
These ladies are really dialed in right now. It's going to come down to this final throw. 38 all between Brussel and Jen.
Yeah, so it's important for Beth Jen to remember, too, that she did not miss that bullseye by very much. So she doesn't have to make a lot of adjustments to her throw. And a nice, it looks like a 4, could be a 5 if that blade's popping through.
4 and 4.
Hannah Brussel just missed the 5, And once again, we're going to sudden death here in week number 5.
There we go. So Beth Jen and Hannah Brussel going into overtime score at 42-42. Closest to the kill shot wins the game. If they both hit the kill shot, Joey, they have to move to the other kill shot. And we just keep going back and forth until there's a winner. But
it's a good throw from Beth Jen, putting some pressure on Brussel.
ooh,
That is awfully close.
we are going to
Jenny's
need a
going to
tape
need
measure.
the tape measure, I think, for this one.
Do I need
Well,
to measure it?
She makes the call there. So Beth Jen comes out the victor.
Beth Jen
You were tied
winning
at
a
42.
thriller in sudden death over Hannah Brussel.
Yeah, very, very close there. Both players very close to the kill shot there. Jenny making the ruling that Beth was closer. It did look like there from the action cam that she was. So a nice score by both players, 42. Just that drop by Hannah on that sixth throw really kind of turned the tides of this game, Joey. And just a good victory for Beth. Some positive points going into the tournament.
Indeed. Well, earlier today, we saw Stephanie Prine get a 49-43 win over Brandon Feenstra. Stephanie's going to get back out there and look for another win here in week number 5. Here's Stephanie on her throwing routine.
I don't really think about that so much as more as I start going through my checklist, and it's kind of a lot like swinging a golf club, and then just like if you have a slice for golf, every time you go to follow through, that's all you think about. And the same thing is when you start messing up throwing an axe. You start kind of anticipating the types of errors that you usually make and overcorrect.
Stephanie Prine making the right kind of adjustments here.
Yep, absolutely. It's a constant game of adjustments here on Battle Axe, but once you find it, you got to learn how to stick with it.
Stephanie Prine ready to take on Casey Laser Wolf Nines. This is a tall task for Prine.
Stephanie coming in throwing, though, very well, coming in with a record of 8-9. Casey at 15-2. But we've seen Casey get stuck kind of in that 4 rut a little bit, but a nice start there. Looks like a bullseye.
5 and bullseye, Stephanie.
Oh, reverse that, Joey. It's a 5 for Casey and a bullseye for Stephanie.
So a great start for Stephanie Prine against Casey Nines. Both of these competitors had wins earlier here in week number 5. Casey Nines put up a round of 51 for a win over Eric Schizzle.
Another nice throw there by Stephanie. Looks like a 5, and looks like Casey just releasing that axe a little too soon. Getting stuck in that 4 ring, but only down by 2 going into the third throw. Trying to focus up and find that 5 and 6 ring.
Well, that might be a bullseye for Casey Nines.
Yeah, you can see there it's kind of popping through on that left-hand side.
And then 4, Stephanie.
So it is a bullseye for Laser Wolf. That will tie it at 15 all.
And quickly things can turn here on Battle Axe. It's all tied up going into the 4th throw. Again, this is why Matt keeps talking about just play the board. Don't worry about where your competitor throws. Stephanie can't think that she was just up in this game and now it's all tied. How do I come back in this game? It's just focusing on your throw, focusing on that board.
This is your 5th throw and you're tied at 19.
And just,
So we're still tied up, 19 all after 4 throws.
yep, so it looks like Stephanie liking that new axe quite a bit, putting up some really impressive scores and a couple 4s here to keep this thing all knotted up at 23.
So Prine and Nines will switch sides and get ready for the second half of this one.
So really important for both players as switching sides to maintain that rhythm. Nice throw there by Stephanie and a nice throw there by Casey as well. Looks like a couple 5s.
5, Stephanie.
Yeah, we've seen before a lot that you can switch sides and all of a sudden the rhythm and the momentum can go right out the window, but it looks like Nines and Prine are going to keep their foot on the gas here in the second half of this one.
Yeah, as we've talked about before, Joey, it's always a game of muscle memory, consistency, momentum. So even that subtle shift of lanes can actually be a huge factor. So Casey with a 5 there, Stephanie with a 4. Didn't miss by the 5 by much. So Casey has a 1-point lead, 33-32. Nice throw there. Looks like the axe is popping through in the bottom part of that
5, Casey.
blade there for Casey.
5, Stephanie.
So a couple of 5s from Nines and Prine. It's a 1-point lead from Casey Nines with 2 throws to go. Every match here just seems to go right down to the wire.
Yep, we got a lot of, as the tournament's coming up, Joey, everyone's kind of honing in their skills here, getting closer and closer.
4 and 4.
And as we've talked with some of the top competitors in this league,
Last throw,
they're looking,
Casey's
that
up by
5
1
and 6 ring,
point.
those 4s are the mistakes. So as you can see with Casey's round here, he's not been around that 6 bullseye ring as much as he would like to be. I would imagine.
Nines with a 1-point lead, looking to put it away right here, but he'll leave the door open.
Ooh, he did. He left the door open, Joey, and Stephanie was not able to capitalize.
5, Casey.
Wow.
So Casey Laserwolf Nines gets the win over
good game.
Stephanie
44,
Prine,
Stephanie.
47 to 44.
Casey.
Yeah, so a very close ruling there on the 10th throw for Casey Nines. It was a 5 there, so the axe popping through on the left-hand side of that blade. But Stephanie just threw a tremendous matchup all the way up until that 10th throw. So Casey left the door open, but Stephanie unable to capitalize. She falls to 8 and 10. Casey improves to 16 and 2. But just a tremendous round by both competitors, trying to focus in on that 5 and 6 ring a little bit more and get ready for tournament time.
Indeed, Stephanie Prine playing very well with the postseason right around the corner, and so too is Casey Laserwolf Nines. He improves to 16 and 2 on the season as he looks to bring home a championship for the first time in his Battle Axe career. Well, it was an exciting week of action. A lot of these games going right down to the wire. After 5 weeks of play, it's time now for our post-game wrap-up. Well, once again, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw remains atop the standings. Bradshaw now a perfect 20-0 on the season, and he improves his average score just a bit this week. He's up to 54.1 points per game.
Yeah, Matt in pursuit of perfection, going to 20-0, but right behind him is Casey Nines, Cody Yoakum, Brandon Feenstra, Eric Schisel, Hannah Brussel, Stephanie Prine, Gina Feenstra, Everett Shore, and Haley Straight. So a good collection of competitors, and it'll be a great Week 8 tournament.
2 weeks to go until the double elimination tournament. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Battle Axe. We'll see you here next time on MC22.